And yes, what up my people? 200 billion billionaire club is empty. Why? Elon Musk, the only member of this club, was recently ejected following the fall in the market value of Tesla. It's arguably the most elite club in the world, one of those clubs whose entrants look like the labor of Hercules. Very few managed to get in. It is rare to find more than 2 members at the same time. At the beginning of the year, the only person who was in the club was Elon Musk, the visionary and whimsical CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, Twitter, and 2 other companies. This particular club is for billionaires whose fortune reaches at least $200 billion. Until a few days ago, Musk was the only member of this prestigious club, but much criticized by the liberals who see it as a symbol of the continuous widening of the gap between the haves and the have-nots. Musk's fortune has shrunk by $80.4 billion since January and stands at $190 billion as of November 5th. According to Bloomberg Billionaire Index, however, he remains the richest man in the world. Musk owes his immense fortune to his Tesla shares. The evolution of the price of Tesla shares thus has an impact on the evolution of the billionaire's fortune. If the electric vehicle maker's stock goes down, it negatively impacts Musk's net worth on paper. And so we're going to look at the top 10 impacted by the tech wars. Since January, Tesla has seen its market value melt by more than $450 billion, certainly affected by the zero-COVID policy in China, the continuous disruption to supply chains and the soaring price of raw materials. But the company is also impacted by concerns surrounding the entire tech sector, as the economic slowdown could turn into a recession. This macroeconomic environment has important consequence in the ranking of the world's largest fortune, since the top 10 is dominated by Silicon Valley tycoons. The French businessman Bernard Arnault is the second richest man in the world, but the fortune of the CEO of the luxury company has decreased by $34.4 billion to $144 billion since January. Indian businessman Gautam Adani is the third richest man on the planet, with a fortune estimated at $133 billion. Adani, who is the head of an industrial conglomerate, is the only personality in the top 10 to have seen his fortune increase since January. It's up $56.2 billion. Jeff Bezos is fourth with a fortune valued at $114 billion. The fall of the Amazon founder is the consequence of the sharp drop in the market value of the e-commerce giant, which has been ejected from the club of companies with a market value of more than $1 trillion. Amazon warned that the next few months were going to be very difficult. Bezos has lost $78.4 billion since January. Zuckerberg, the big loser. Bill Gates, co-founder of software giant Microsoft, is the 5th richest man in the world with an estimated fortune of $107 billion, down $31.4 billion since January. Legendary investor Warren Buffett comes in 6th, as he is worth $100 billion. Buffett, often hailed for his sound investments, has seen his fortune melt by $8.6 billion since January. There are no other billionaires above $100 billion. The other 4 members of the top 10 have wealth ranging from $90 billion to $80 billion. Larry Ellison is ranked 7th with a fortune estimated at $90.9 billion. The co-founder of Oracle lost $16.3 billion this year. Indian businessman Mukesh Ambani is 8th with an estimated wealth of $89 billion, down $986 million in 2022. Larry Page, co-founder of Alphabet, parent company of Google, is 9th with a net worth of $81.4 billion, down $47 billion since January. The internet juggernaut recently warned that tough times are ahead. Steve Ballmer The former CEO of Microsoft is 10th with a fortune valued at $79.7 billion. His net worth has increased by $26 billion since January. Steve Ballmer, the former CEO of Microsoft, is 10th with a fortune valued at $79.7 billion. His net worth has decreased by $26 billion since January. It's important to note the downfall of Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of the social media empire Meta Platforms, whose disputed bets on the metaverse contributed to the stock market plunge of the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Zuckerberg is only 29th richest person in the world with a fortune valued at $35.2 billion, down $90.3 billion since January. So as we can see, the recession is tough, and let's see what happens. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you.